fixed it or whatever, but you know, if not, you know, I can kind of tinker with it myself a little bit. But let's kind of get into it a little bit, okay? Start by turning this damn sound off. I hate the background music. Worst soundtrack alive. I just turn all this down. I don't need this. Cramping my style. Alright. So we're going to get into the 4-3 over. I'm going to tell you guys what you're going to need. Alright. In the 4-3 over, it's basically a hybrid between a 3-4 defense and a 4-3 defense. Your left side, your right outside linebacker, your middle linebacker, your right end, and your defensive tackle number 2 are going to be your 3-4 defense look. Your left end, your defensive tackle number 1, and your left outside linebacker are going to be the 4-3 side of your defense. Okay? So if you kind of just split it down in the middle, you kind of look at it, you notice how their alignments are a little bit different or whatever. And I like this because of the versatility that it presents. Okay? So with that being said, you know, your defensive tackle number 2 is basically your nose tackle in this defense. Let's kind of get into it. I usually like to run like the Will Blitz 3. If I'm playing run defense, you know, I might play the strong slant 3-2. But I just want to kind of show you some of the blitzes that I'm using and how to set them up against different formations. We'll do it from single back under center. We'll do it from quite a few under center formations that, you know, people like to pass out of. And then I will show you against some shotgun formations. Okay, you're going to do different shifts. You're going to do different crashes. So I strongly suggest you guys take notes because I'm about to give you the best. Let's kind of just go with like quick pass schemes. All right. So let's say we're going up against bunch. We're not so much as worried about the play that's being picked, because the thing about running this defense is about getting pressure in the backfield before route concepts develop. Okay, I like turbo blitzing out of this formation, and the beauty about it is I can send anyone that I want wherever I want to send them from, you know, just depending on the formations that my opponents, you know, give me or present me with. So like, let's say I'm running against a bunch set. All right, part of me blitzing is gonna come down to, you know, is that tight end blocking, is the running back blocking, you know, what are they more known to do out of such and such formations. Usually against bunch formations, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna crash to the weak side of the formation. I'm not gonna do no spread out or nothing. I'm just gonna crash them left. There's no point of me shifting the D line or anything, because like I said, in this specific play I'm rushing 5 and I already have, you know, the edge containment. So I got the outside linebacker and I got the defensive end on the edge. There's no need for me to move the defensive line. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is, because I'm crashing left, now what that does is that tells me which gap I need to shoot through. Okay, so when I crash left, my gap that I'm going to shoot through is going to be between these two guys. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I need to decide which player I want to shoot through those gaps. Okay, I've got multiple options that I can do. I can do this with the linebacker. I can do it with a safety. I can do it with a cornerback. Okay, it really varies, and I'm going to show you. Okay, so the first one we're going to do is you're just going to send the linebacker and show you. This is real easy to set up. Doesn't take a lot. If I want, I can kind of move the linebackers in and then just watch. Okay, Let's do that again. Okay, crash left. I don't need to move linebacker. I can spread the linebackers if I want. Same thing. If I crash left, I'm going to shoot between that tackle and that guard. And look at there. Now, the gun bunch might be a little bit different. Let's see. So you gotta be careful with practice mode, because sometimes, you know, they give you illusions. You can't stay in something for too long. They start to fuck with you a little bit. So here we go again. We're gonna crash left. I spread my linebackers, and then you just pass, commit, or whatever. Don't matter. And I want to shoot through this gap right there. You see that gap? Now, when you're in a game, you're actually playing on a live opponent. What I want you guys to do is this. Keep tapping your stick down. Not enough to move him, but, you know, enough to where he stays standing. You don't want him to be in the rest position. Now, it's not going to let me do it in practice mode, so I'm going to try my best to get through that gap. See, it's not, practice mode is not going to too much let you do it, but, you know, that's why I was a little despairing about putting this out, you know, through practice mode. But, you know, we're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna give it a go. All right, so if he's gonna keep doing that wheel route, we're just gonna press him. See, practice mode won't let you do the pre-snap movement, but there we go. And then just dive at the quarterback, okay? When you dive, you're twice as fast as whatever your speed is. Okay, so like I said, just crash left, no need to move the D-line. You have the option to spread the linebackers depending on if they're doing any motions or whatnot. And usually bunch sets, if he's trying to quick pass, just I would strongly recommend only pressing individually instead of globally. If you press globally, usually what happens is you might take those safeties down, and it's gonna leave you vulnerable over the top, you know, especially if they got a speed receiver. Okay, so I don't globally press, but look at there. Okay, so that's one way to run it. All right, let's kind of go into some different ways to run this shit. Let's say they're running, you know, give me an idea. Let's say they're running under center. Let's say they got a balance. They're running deuce close. Okay, and they want to pass from this formation. Okay, so we'll just pick a play out of here. Alright, when they're running balanced formations, where they're equivalent on both sides, you know, receiver on both sides, tight end on both sides, usually I like to crash out. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to shoot that gap between the center and the guard. Just like that. See, the primary thing on this is knowing which gaps to shoot based off of what formations you're getting. Okay, we can create, you know, we can send anybody we want for real. So like, let's say I want to play the seam flat with him, and I want to get a little bit more speed in there. And let's say, you know, I might want to get a little bit of speed in there, and I might take the safety and then send the safety. You know, I can send anybody I want. It'll mess them up as far as trying to ID check at the line. And if y'all know, like I know, ID check takes forever to fucking do, because sometimes you ID check wrong, you know, and then you got to re-ID check. And if they do too many adjustments at the line this year, what happens? False start on the offense. Okay, so you always want to keep them guessing. You don't want them, you know, keying in on to which guy you're sending. For instance, I might let me see. Let me kind of figure out some shit here. Just bear with me. Let's say we crash out. Let's say we bring him up, and then we just move him over here and come at a different depth. You know, so he doesn't know who's coming. Doesn't know when it's coming. You know, I can send anybody I want. It doesn't matter. Same thing. You know, let's say you do run the same thing and they ID check you. Okay, like initially when they out for you guys, man. So again, make sure that you comment. You know, if there's anything y'all want to know, make sure you like. Make sure you hit the sub and turn those notifications on, man, because you know I got big tips coming. Okay, appreciate it, guys.